morning, Tottenham fans. Hope you're all having a really good weekend so far. I've just been doing a little bit of research. There's this massive narrative that I keep hearing over and over and over again that Brennan Johnson is a tap-in merchant. All he ever does is tap the ball in. He can't do anything else. So I took a look into this. I did a bit of research and I went back over all of his goals he scored this season. And what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to tell you game by game which team he was playing against and what type of goal he scored in each one of these games. And I think by the end of the video, you're going to realise or think to yourself, wait a minute, how did he get this narrative that he's a tap-in merchant? I think you're going to be surprised by the results at the end of this video. So while I was looking through these videos, I put a little description down, I wrote it down about what his goal was and how he scored it. So his first goal was against Coventry City. And remember that was in I think it was the League Cup, and there was a through ball played to him. It was a well-timed run. He ran through on goal, one-on-one with the goalie, and hit it past the goalie coolly. A cool finish, it was a decent finish. Okay, so that wasn't a tap-in. So that was his first goal. His second goal was against Brentford. So against Brentford, he got the ball just inside the area, took it on the outside of the man, took it round the player on the right hand side, and smashed the ball at a tight angle into the far corner past the goalkeeper. Okay, so that's 2 goals now, and neither of them are tap-ins. Okay, so then I was thinking, so when I looked at them 2 goals, I was like, okay, so far no tap-in, so it made me more curious to have a look and see what more. So his third goal was against Karabag in Europa League. He was 8 yards out and he hit it across the goalkeeper. So it was a clinical finish 8 yards out of the box. It wasn't across the goal, and it was a tap-in. So again, that's 3 goals he scored now, and none of them have been tap-ins. Okay, so Man United was his 4th goal, and that's when Van der Ven did that blistering run down the wing, crossed it in, and then Johnson was there to tap it in. So that's his first tap-in 4 goals so far. Then he was playing against Ferencvaros in the Europa League. He was 17 yards out, struck the ball across the goalkeeper, and it went post and in. Okay, so again, that's not a tap-in. It was a very, very good clinical finish, in my opinion. So then his next goal, his 6th goal, was against Brighton. It was a through ball. He was 1-on-1 with the goalie, and he beat the goalie with a 1-on-1. Another clinical finish, not a tap-in. So now, just to recap the first 6 goals, in the first 6 goals he scored this season, 1 tap-in so far. So against Aston Villa, that was he slid in from close range, so I'm counting that as a tap-in. So that's 2 tap-ins so far out of 7 goals. Against Manchester City, that was a cross, I think, from Werner when he outsprinted Walker, and he put the ball across, and Johnson was there to tap it in. So that's 3 tap-ins now from Johnson this season. Against Roma, he was 10 yards out, a left foot strike, which went into the bottom corner. So against Roma, his goal was a left foot strike, very clinical again, into the bottom corner, no tap-in. Then against Fulham, this one is a debatable tap-in because it was a great cross from Werner. He was about 6 yards out, but it was a volley into the goal. It wasn't like across the floor and a just easy tap-in. It was actually a very good finish from the volley. So that's a debatable tap-in because it was close, but I'm just going to put that one as debatable. Now, Wolves. This is when Kulusevski ran down the wing and pulled it back, and Johnson was about 8 yards out, and he placed it past the goalkeeper. So, and there was players around him. There wasn't just across the goal, 1 yard out tap-in. It was 8 yards out. A good finish into the corner against Wolves. So again, not a tap-in. Against Tamworth, he was 15 yards out and he shot into the corner with a very, very good finish. I know it's only Tamworth, but it was still a 15-yard strike into the corner. Again, not a tap-in. Ipswich, he scored 2 goals when we beat them 4-1. The first was a tap-in when Sonny put the ball across. The second one, he was 12 yards out, left foot strike into the bottom corner. So the second one wasn't a tap-in. So in total, that's 14 goals. So total tap-ins. Let's discount that debatable one for now. And then I can put it back in later. But the debatable one, I'm not really sure it's a tap-in. Let me know in the comments if that volley, who was it against again? I can't remember. But that volley I spoke about, let me know if you think that's a tap-in or does that count as a good finish? Because it was a very good finish. But anyway, out of 14 goals, 4 tap-ins. Just 4. And other types of goals like through balls, running through one-on-ones, shots from 15 yards out, 9 yards out, drilling it across the goalie, beating your man and scoring in the bottom corner. 9 goals he scored like that. So where does he get this Tappin Johnson from? Tappin Brennan, or whatever nickname you want to call it. It for me, it baffles me. Like, because I just looked at all his goals and he's only got 4 tap-ins. Like, even that, if you want to count the 5th one as a tap-in, as 5 tap-ins and 9 goals that weren't tap-ins. So it's very confusing. Like, I'm glad I've researched this, to be honest, because I'm thinking to myself, I swear he didn't tap in all his goals. I swear he didn't. And I was right. So I was quite happy with that. And I was like, well, so again, it's another narrative being debunked because people just hear something and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And they repeat it so much, we all think it's true and it's not. It's not true. So if you think basically 64% of his goals are not tap-ins. 64% are not tap-ins. Only 28.5% of his goals are tap-ins. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It would be higher than 64% if you counted that volley, that debatable one, as a good finish. So it'd be higher than 64% of his goals. That means 10 out of 14 were not tap-ins. That is insane. Now, this is not a Johnson's the best player in the world video, but this is just to squash that narrative that people say he can only do one thing, because some of his goals were very, very good finishes. They were very clinical. And we can't knock that he scored 14 goals this season, and he's been injured for a little while as well, and he's got 3 assists. He's got 17 goal contributions this season. Yes, there's things he can improve on, most definitely. He needs to improve on making more of an impact in the game, because we all know if he's not scoring these goals and he's not assisting, he seems to go quite quiet and he doesn't really impact a game. So I don't know whether that's confidence. I don't know whether that's because we've had lots of injuries and no cohesion in our team at the moment. But he does need to improve on aspects of his game, but he's still a young lad. He has got time to improve. He's got pace. He's definitely got a very good finish. He's good on one-on-ones. I don't even see him. I think he's only missed one-on-one this season, I think. He's got a really good knack of being in the right place at the right time. You know, so he's got a lot of good attributes. He can be a very, very good player. And we need to just squash this narrative now that all he does is tap in, because I just went through all his goals. And if you don't believe me, just look at all his goals and tell me how many were tap-ins. Just because goals are inside the box, that doesn't class as a tap-in. Yeah? It depends on what you call a tap-in. Because if every goal inside the box is a tap-in, then most strikers score tap-ins all day long. So, yeah, there's things he needs to improve on, definitely. I'm not saying he's the finished article, nothing like that. I just wanted to protect him a little bit, to say, you know, please don't lie about what he does, because 9 of his 14 goals, or 10 of his 14 goals, in my opinion, are not tap-ins. So, maybe he just needs to improve on his confidence. Maybe he just needs to improve on certain aspects of his game. He's still young, he can still do it. I still think he can. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this stat, because it shocked me a little bit, because I knew he didn't tap in all his goals, but I didn't realise it was this many that he didn't tap in. Only 4 tap-ins this season out of 14. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching, and come on, you Spurs.